Maharaj is carrying, and it's so beautifully described at that point. The doors are opening, the lions are off to sleep, the stone slabs are closed, all the doorkeepers are fast asleep, and Vasudeva Maharaj walks out. And the Bhagavatam describes the example of the sun. If you carefully heard the translation, it said when Vasudeva Maharaj stepped out, it was like the rising of the sun. Now, why the rising of the sun? Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't give a vague example. Sometimes when we have to explain a point, we may just give a vague example. I had a professor in my school, and we would make fun of him. I'm sorry if he's watching this, but we would make fun of him because the point that he was supposed to make and the example that he would use to substantiate that wasn't related. Like, for example, if he had to say that apples are red, he would give an example how 2 plus 2 is 4. And then he would say, so therefore apples are red. And then we were like, wait a minute, before we had a problem understanding apples are red, now we have a problem understanding 2 things. Apples are red and 2 plus 2 is 4. Double the problem. Yeah. Generally the examples are used to bolster your point. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is giving the example of the sun. Because there are 2 things here which are common with the rising of the sun. One, when the sun rises, it makes no noise. When Vasudeva Maharaj is stepping out, there's no noise. When have we heard the sun rising? It's like, what's happening? Never mind this. I'm sorry. There's never a background sound. You're right. So the sun rises, but there's no noise. Never noise, there's no sound. So Vasudeva Maharaj, when he's stepping out, it's like the rising of the sun, where something really great is happening, but there's no sound whatsoever. Second, the darkness that has been collected overnight, which cannot be removed by any number of torchlights, can be successively and increasingly disappeared or can be removed by the rising of the sun. When the sun rises with the first rays, some part of the darkness is lost. With the second rays, a bit more. And then 10%, 20%, 40%, 50%, 100%, the more it rises, all the darkness is gone. Similarly, that door, that 16 level security which cannot be removed, just like the overnight darkness cannot be removed. This security cannot be breached and broken. That was being broken. How? When he would step out, the door would open. And then he would step out, another door would open. It's not that he stepped out and all 16 opened. Isn't that so beautiful? And Shukadeva Goswami has not done a recap of all this. Okay, I'm going to give this example of this verse, this example of this verse. It's just spontaneous. It's just spontaneous. How rich is this text? He's saying, just like the sun rises, and to the extent the sun rises, to that extent the darkness is lost. Similar to the extent the son of Vasudeva Maharaj's marching goes ahead, to that extent the darkness of these doors are removed. And 3, Hari Suri, who's a commentator, very, very delicious commentator. Very delicious because his commentaries are very tasty. He says Surya Narayan himself is walking, so what's the problem? Because Krishna's eyes are compared to the sun. So when Krishna is in the box, sleeping, it's described all the doors were shut. But as soon as he opened his eyes, when Krishna's opening his eyes, why won't the doors open? Because the sun himself, the source of all the suns, is walking himself. That's what he says. And at this point, Vasudeva Maharaj has left. He's finished through all the 16 doors successfully. So what would you expect such a person to do? Send a text message first. I'm out. Feeling loved with Krishna. love and comment and share. And then somebody else, I wish I was there. And another person, can you send me a selfie? You would expect such a person to be tense because he would be shivering up. But the Acharyas are describing, the more Vasudeva Maharaj was getting out, more blissful and cheerful he was. Now why? It's a very beautiful point, which is very, very applicable for us as sadhakas. What happens when the Janmashtami pressure comes over? In the temple, we have to put everything together. You have to put the advertisements out, the emails out, the cooking, the scheduling, who's going to sing, how we're going to have the darshans, what time it's going to open, who's going to do the dressing, what time is the abhishek, where are the ingredients going to come from, there's no mess, who's going to take the pictures, who's going to go Facebook Live. So there's so much planning. And at that time we feel, it's tough. But Vasudeva Maharaj is feeling ecstatic. Ecstatic. To that Harisuri comments, Krushir Bhovachako Shabda Nashta Nivritti Vachaka Tayor Aikyam Para Brahma Krishna Iti Avidhiyate. From the Mahabharata. He says that Krishna, this word refers to condensed, intense, concentrated bliss. Condensed, thick, intense, concentrated bliss. So Vasudeva Maharaj is carrying Krishna, so how can he be invisible? Srila Prabhupada, so many times, there were so many obstacles, so many hurdles, so much burden in so many projects. One devotee in the Hare Krishna land is called Mumbai, Juhu, Senior Prabhupada disciple, was once making this point that that place was so difficult for Srila Prabhupada. You may have heard about the history of ISKCON Mumbai. His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj also recalls in Bombay as my office. His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj has been speaking for decades. So difficult to fight that property and get it. So one time one of those disciples of Srila Prabhupada went to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was seated like this. He said, Srila Prabhupada, what happened? Srila Prabhupada said, this project is a headache.
Hare Krishna.
The disciple said, then why are you doing it? Prabhupada smiled and he said, because it's blissful. This headache is blissful. He said, I don't understand what you're saying. Srila Prabhupada smiled and he said, when you work for Maya, you have a headache. When you work for Krishna, you have a bigger headache. But the difference is, the headache for Maya is miserable. But the bigger headache for Krishna is blissful. It's going to be struggle. There are going to be obstacles all through. Vasudeva Maharaj didn't have a cup of cake. It was very difficult. But because he was aiming on the substance, with integrity, with sincerity, with seriousness and focus, it was so difficult. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Because he had Krishna in his hand, in his heart, he was blissful. So the key is to overcome all the obstacles in life. It's always going to be headache. Obstacles are always going to be there. Krishna consciousness is not going to be like a freeway. Easy life and successful Krishna consciousness go ill together. This is a famous statement. Easy life and successful Krishna consciousness go ill together. Which means it's going to be tough. But if we are having our focus on the target, then it's going to be blissful. Krishna will empower us to jump over all the hurdles and win the trophy. So Vasudeva Maharaj gets out. And at that time, now the battle is only 25% done because he's got out. Now he has to walk all the way. Obstacles are always going to be there. Krishna consciousness is not going to be like a freeway. Easy life and successful Krishna consciousness go ill together. This is a famous statement. Easy life and successful Krishna consciousness go ill together. Which means it's going to be tough. But if we are having our focus on the target, then it's going to be blissful. Krishna will empower us to jump over all the hurdles and win the trophy. So Vasudeva Maharaj gets out. And at that time now the battle is only 20. %, done because he's got out. Now he has to walk all the way, keep the child and swap, and then come back. So when he sets out, now what is the concern in Vasudeva Maharaj's head? How to cross. And before how to cross, nobody inside saw me. But now as I'm stepping out, no one should see me outside. What am I supposed to do? How am I going to take Krishna out? Now if somebody is there on the road, I cannot tell them, get aside. I can't tell them, shut your eyes. I can't tell them, flip over. What am I going to do? As soon as he's having this worry and concern, Indra helps him. Now in the purport we saw, in the translation we saw, when Vasudeva Maharaj steps out, it starts raining. Our acharyas give 5 reasons why it started raining. First reason why it started raining. What happens during rain shower? People go inside. People go inside. If they're on the roads, they come inside. Second, those who are at home stay in.
Shut the door.
They stay in and shut the door. 3, even if you're out. Second, those who are at home raining. What happens during rain shower? People go inside. People go inside. If they're on the roads, they come inside. Second, those who are at home
Shut the door.
stay in.
Shut the door.
They stay in and shut the door. 3, even if you're out, and if it's exactly pouring, you can see. You need all the wipers on. That's if you're in the car. There's no car here. They're all walking. So 1, when it rains profusely, no one goes out, you stay in. Second, if you're out, you try to come in. 3, if you're still some time out before you come in, and if it's profusely showering down, you can't see anything. 4, those who are inside the house prefer to sleep. And now there's another concern. Even if nobody sees Vasudeva Maharaj, if you're out, you try to come in. 3, if you're still some time out before you come in, and if it's profusely showering down, you can't see anything. 4, those who are inside the house prefer to sleep. And now there's another concern. Even if nobody sees Vasudeva Maharaj's footsteps fill all those water ponds, water pools, could still be heard. Now in thunderous rain and shower, if the water falls on the rooftop, that sound deafens the walking of Vasudeva Maharaj's footsteps, the sound of his footsteps. So even if Vasudeva Maharaj is walking, the sound of the thundering rain shower hitting on all the roofs and the houses and all of the places and the trees, the constant background sound that you hear, completely eclipses the sound of Vasudeva Maharaj walking. 5 reasons for the rain. 1, people who are outside prefer to come in. 2nd, those who are in prefer to go out, correct? No. 3, you can see who's coming and who's going. 4, you prefer to go to sleep. 5, you can hear because the sound of the rain is too much. Now this is what the Acharyas give as the external reason for why it rained. Now I present to you the internal reason why it rained. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
The first reason, again 5 reasons. The first reason why it rained. Now please note, in a poetic viewpoint, all the inanimate things can be animate, and they can think, and they can speak, and they can walk, and they can talk, and they can feel, and they can perspire. They started thinking to itself that I belong to the aristocratic cows, and I'm jumping and performing tapasya with the flames underneath. It's heat, it's tapasya. I'm dancing and performing tapasya. But still it's Mother Yashoda's milk which is entering Krishna's mouth. What is the use of my existence? I have aristocratic birth and I'm performing tapasya. I still... boil, jump into fire and come. It seems that that's the only purpose of life. And at that time, Mother Yashoda drops Krishna to go and save his devotee. Yes. So all the inanimates can think. Now the first reason, the internal reason why it starts raining. Everybody on the same page?
Yes.
First reason why it started raining. The Acharyas comment, the clouds started to cry. Why? He said, think, Krishna appears once in 8.64 billion earthly years, and he could have appeared in any complexion. I have all the good fortune he has appeared in my complexion. Every time in the future Krishna's description, bodily beauty is described, he will always be described as Megha Shyam. Megha means clouds and Shyam means the foolish complexion. Every time Krishna's complexion is going to be described, he's going to be described as he who's as complexioned as the bluish black, freshly formed rain cloud. Krishna is never compared to any other poetic expression. It's only the rain-filled cloud. So the cloud started to cry in gratitude. Oh Krishna, I can't believe this. Once in 8 billion years you appear, and your complexion is my complexion. Our whole family is blessed, Krishna. I can't explain how happy I am. The second Acharya describes, well, there's an inner purport to it. He says the cloud happened to hear Patram Pushpam Phalam Kariya.
Wow.
Krishna says, if you can offer me a fruit or a flower or a leaf or some water, I accept if it's with love and devotion. And the cloud started thinking, I don't have fruits, I don't have flowers, I don't have leaves. All that I have, Krishna, is water. This is all yours. The third reason the Acharyas give why the cloud started to pour is because the cloud started thinking, after Krishna appeared in the prison house, he drank Mother Yashoda's breast milk once, but still no one has given him a bath. So that service, as soon as he's taken to Mother Yashoda's place, he will be nicely bathed in the breast milk of Mother Yashoda out of her maternal love, motherly love. Now on the way between two mothers is my service. I can bathe Krishna with as much water as I can. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. I don't have to collect any kalash pots. I don't have to be a donor. There wasn't any political pun intended here. I don't have to put tulsi. I don't have to look at the wall clock say, it's done, time's done. Nothing. It's all mine. As Krishna's walking through, I can just pour one pot after another. Third reason. Fourth reason the Acharya gives. Oh, this is beautiful. Very beautiful. The fourth reason. The cloud is not actually offering. This Acharya is using the concept of water cycle. Imagine, the Acharyas are commenting, they're not just devotional, they're not just poetic, they're also scientific. This poet says all the water that the cloud gains is coming from the ocean. The evaporation of the ocean water. And who is the ocean? How is the ocean related to Krishna? The cloud is not actually offering it. This Acharya is using the concept of water cycle. Imagine, the Acharyas are commenting, they're not just devotional, they're not just poetic, they're also scientific. This poet says all the water that the cloud gains is coming from the ocean. The evaporation of the ocean water. And who is the ocean? How is the ocean related to Krishna? Would anybody know? Ah, yes, perfect. The ocean is considered to be the father of Lakshmi. Why? Because in the base of the ocean you find all the jewels, which is an expansion of Lakshmi. So the ocean is considered to be the father for Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is the eternal consort of Narayan. So for Krishna, the ocean is Sasurji. हिंदी में कुछ बोलो? Just couple of lines. एक भक्त मुझे बता रहे थे, जो भी यहाँ सास और ससुर है क्षमा करें, ऐसे हास परिहास के लिए दे लीजिए। आपके विरुद्ध कुछ नहीं है। वो भक्त जो बता रहे थे यथारूप, मेरी व्याख्या नहीं है, मेरा सोच विचार नहीं है, उनका है यथारूप प्रस्तुत करना। वो भक्त कह रहे थे मुझे, इस जगत में 3 प्रकार के प्राणी हैं, सुर, असुर और ससुर। तीनों से संभाल के व्यवहार करो, लेने के देने पड़ सकते हैं। So for Krishna, the ocean is the father-in-law. So it's described, the ocean is the father-in-law for Krishna. And because in the future he's going to give his daughter in marriage to the son-in-law, to Krishna, he's offering the water to the cloud, and out of respect, he's telling the cloud, I cannot offer it straight to my son-in-law. Can you offer this water as gift from my side to my son-in-law as he has appeared? In the future, he's going to take my daughter. So it's a very shy poetic expression to say that it's the ocean who's offering his water as gift to the cloud, asking and beseeching the cloud, can you offer it on my behalf? I am the father-in-law of Krishna. And I feel a little shy to approach him directly because I haven't still offered my daughter yet. So I'm offering this water, but because you are the intermediate, please offer it. So this is the 4th reason. Now the 5th and the final reason. In Sanskrit, the word water is also synonymous with the word Jivana. You may have heard Yamuna Jivana, Keli Parayana, Manasa Chandra.
Why is the science when the body is the father-in-law of the man? This is not science. According to you, it's not science, but it is what it is. I'm just hear this Harika. That is all I want you to do.
Or life. So the cloud thinks, I have Jivan, which is water, and here is Krishna, who's the Jivan, ultimate Jivan, who's the ultimate life. Let me offer water, which is Jivan, because water also means Jivan, to Krishna, who is Jivan. Jivan also means life, the ultimate life of all that exists. Let me offer this water, Jivan, to the source of Jivan. It's a deep poetic expression. So what were the 5 external reasons why it rained? Who remembers? Offer this water, Jivan, to the source of Jivan. It's a deep poetic expression. So what were the 5 external reasons why it rained? Who remembers? The external reasons, the 5 external reasons why it rained. People outside go inside. Second. People inside stay inside. 3. Nobody can see. Okay. 4.
You can sleep, go to sleep.
आपको बड़ा ये याद है. They can sleep well. And 5.
The sound.
The sound. Yes, the hitting of the shower, rain shower, hits all these surfaces. And then the sound of Vasudeva Maharaj's footsteps is not heard. 5 eternal reasons why it rained. 1. The clouds are weeping, saying that, what fortune Krishna's appeared in my complexion. 2nd, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. I can offer fruits, flowers, or leaves. I offer all my water. 3. Giving the first part to Krishna. Imagine the first ever Abhishek of Krishna. The auspicious opportunity comes in the hands of the clouds. 4th, the ocean being the father-in-law is offering the water. It's not the cloud's water. It's the ocean's water to the cloud. The ocean is the shy father-in-law who is giving it to his future son-in-law, saying that this gift, this water, please pour it out to him as my gift. And 5, water. In Sanskrit, the word Jivana means 2 things. One is water, the other is life. So the cloud is offering water, Jivana, to the ultimate life of everything, Krishna, Jivana. And as we are almost towards the end of the conclusion of this narration, just a couple of sections. The first being, when it starts raining like this, what does the word say? Vasudeva Maharaj is taking Krishna and it starts raining. So now, Krishna needs an umbrella. Ananta Shesh. Now some devotees, while discussing, they have this question. Was Ananta Shesh from protecting from ahead, or from the side, or from behind? From behind. All directions for sure. But how was he placed? Was he towards? Was he from the side, or was he from behind? From behind. Hari Suri, the commentator, he says definitely from behind. Why? He gives 2 reasons why. You see, this whole katha is about reasons and that's why I said it's always good to write this katha. What's that?
There's a reason for that.
The reason for that. Yes, that was a good thing. So Harisuri, commentator, he says the first reason why it must be from behind. He says if Ananta Shesh comes from ahead, then Vasudeva Maharaj may get scared and may even drop the baby. If he comes from the side, then he may be able to protect one of them. But if he comes, because if you see, Ananta Shesh has his hoods wide open, so they will open up this way. But if he opens it up from behind, then both are covered. But the philosophical meaning is deeper. Ananta Shesh thinks to himself, no doubt I'm Krishna's servant, but at this point, I would really, really love to follow the footsteps of he who is holding Krishna. So that spirit of being the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord is seen in the first appearance of Krishna. Ananta Shesh could have very easily, argued this point by saying, Vasudeva Maharaj carries Krishna once. But look at me, Krishna always sleeps on me as his bed. I am experienced, correct? As we would say, I am experienced. But here he's taking it case by case. He thinks, yes, no problem. I am his eternal bed. But at the moment, Krishna is using Vasudeva Maharaj's arms as his bed. And my duty is to leave behind my experienced, quote unquote, ego and to just cooperate and serve this devotee. How many times have we heard of cooperation? Every pastime opens up with cooperation. And interestingly, not just one layer of cooperation. Sometimes we have multi-layer cooperation, cooperation with our seniors, cooperation with our equals, which is very difficult. Because with our superiors, we can always go this way. And with our juniors, we can always go this way. But with our equals, they really know who you are. You can go this way, you can go this way. Hey, wait a minute. Stand as you are, I know you. They say, I know you. It takes one to know one. I know you. So here this multi-layer cooperation. How is that? Anantashesh is trying to cooperate by being the servant of Vasudeva Maharaj, who's the servant of Krishna. Yet at the same time, he's trying to cover Krishna from getting wet from the water droplets of the cloud. Don't you think that's disservice to him? If you actually think at another point, this cloud is another devotee who's performing his service of bathing Krishna. And Anantashesh's service is to protect Krishna. So he's overpowering and stopping the service of another devotee. Therefore, Bhagavatam makes it very clear. Harisuri writes here, Ananta goes this way and goes back. Lets a few water droplets touch Krishna. And then when he thinks Krishna's going to catch cold, that's when he goes ahead. So he lets the cloud perform his service satisfactorily enough. And when he thinks now this is going to be detrimental, Krishna as a baby has become enough drenched enough. He's going to catch a cold very soon. He's going to sneeze. Oh, that's when he goes as an umbrella. 5 reasons why. Yes, exactly. First reason, as I discussed, he came as his umbrella to become the servant of the servant. Second reason, as I discussed again, he served in such a way that he doesn't stop the service of the Lord. So 2 points are described. Third point, the Bhagavatam gives this phrase as Vari Nivarayan. What is the phrase? Vari Nivarayan. The word Nivarayan means to remove. And Vari means water. So he's come to remove water, right? To protect Krishna from water. But at the same time, the word Vari can be broken into 2 parts. Harisuri says this can be broken into 2 parts. First part is Va, which means or. And the second part is Ari, which means an enemy. So the word Vari Nivarayan has 2 meanings. One, to protect Krishna from the water, Vari Nivarayan. Second meaning, Va, Ari Nivarayan, which means on the way, if Vasudeva Maharaj gets any obstacles, then to help him from behind as the armor, as the attack force, he's there. Fourth reason, very beautiful. Water is also called Amrita. What is it called? Amrita. Which means nectar. So he's trying to cover up, looking at the cloud, and he says, the water that you have is called Amrita. But Krishna is Akhila Rasa Amrita Murti. So you're trying to throw your third class Amrita on the first class Amrita? Is that what you're trying to do? Get off. But at the same time, the fifth and the final reason here, water is also called Visha in many readings of the Bhagavatam. And Visha also means poison. So he goes up to tell the cloud, wait a minute, you're offering water, water means Visha, Visha also means poison, and that's my property. Give it to me. Not to Krishna, that's mine. Is everybody awake? Pre-Janmashtami, do we see how much nectar is there in this Bhagavatam? No wonder it is said, Pibata Bhagavatam, you must drink this. In a community when this is discussed, how can we not fall in love with each other who are sitting together with that one pointed mission of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? And finally, as all of this is happening, to conclude, we find Vasudeva Maharaj crosses through the Yamuna, drops Krishna there. Where does he place Krishna? Not in the hands of Mother Yashoda, in the same bed. Because Harisuri describes if he keeps the baby next to Mother Yashoda, Harisuri is saying that when Mother Devaki was breastfeeding Krishna, that's when Vasudeva Maharaj took Krishna out. So Krishna was still hungry. So if he was placed next to Mother Yashoda, he may try to move up to Mother Yashoda and seek her milk. And this will wake her up. And then she will see two babies. A baby boy and a baby girl. And Vasudeva Maharaj in that room. Very embarrassing. So therefore he just places Krishna in the bed, thinking that whenever your mother will wake up, she will feed you. Don't worry, just be here. Patience, utsaha, nishchaya, dhaiya. Bhakti Shastriya. Just be patient. And he takes the baby girl, and Harisuri describes Vasudeva Maharaj tries to leave very fast. Why quickly? Because if the baby's girl starts crying now, everything is a mess. The 75% battle that he has won is all a mess. So he tries to leave quickly. One, because the baby, if she starts crying, it's a mess. Second, what if the baby doesn't cry but the doors are shut? He won't be able to open the door. So he tries to leave quick. And three, he still fears, what if Kamsa Maharaj's doorkeepers have woken up? And he takes this baby out. And as he's returning, everything is as it is. Yamuna has given way. The doors are wide open. The doorkeepers are sleeping. The shackles are all broken. Wait a minute. Harisuri is asking this question now. We discussed when he picked Krishna, the shackles are broken, karma is broken, the doors of Vaikuntha are open, Kam, Krodha, Lobh, Moha all go off to sleep, and everything gives way. Yamuna gives way and goes. Now, he's carrying Maya in his hand. Is everybody on the same page? He's carrying Maya in his hand. Now, how is Yamuna giving way? And how are the doors open? And how are the shackles still open? And how are the doorkeepers still sleeping? Harisuri comments that if someone has held Krishna sincerely in the past, and even if accidentally holds on to Maya, still the doors are still open. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hisana. If one has been sincere and still accidentally makes some mistakes and sometimes holds on to Maya, still Krishna gives him way. Still the doors of Vaikuntha are wide open. Still karma is not binding him. And still all the anarthas are sleeping. But now interestingly, taking that ahead into the final, the icing on the cake, he enters with Maya into the prison house. And as he's entering, he's entered, and he's entered, all doors shut. Yes? And then he himself locks himself up so that Kamsa Maharaj doesn't get a doubt. If the shackles are out, Kamsa Maharaj's doorkeepers, as they wait, they can see there's something fishy here. Because the source of the fish incarnation just appeared. Matsyadev Bhagavan ki jai. Something fishy. So it's described as he got the baby girl inside, he placed the baby girl. He is willingly dropped Krishna somewhere and has got Maya with all faith in his own house. Actually like closing the doors of repeated birth and death and actually shackling himself again in karma. What can be said? Is this clear?
Yes.
So he said, Vasudeva Maharaj is an eternal devotee, eternal personality, but in this pastime he's also giving us wonderful lessons. So